Usually when you are using EPS boards, then you have a lot of this EPS here, which is easy to clean with a knife. But basically what we can see here, one thing is that we are measuring the layer thickness, which is in that case Michals was going to be sure that he's not failing this test, so it's 8.8. Usually we say that the reinforcement, the base coat layer thickness should be around 5 to 8 millimeter. And if it's exceeding 8 millimeters, then we already suggest to use the second mesh somewhere. The second thing we can see here is where the mesh is located. Right now I could say that it's located perfectly. Like deep in the render, almost to the insulation, or is it too much in the surface? So everybody can see and measure yourself.
Yeah.
So right now it's a very small specimen, and like the same thickness everywhere. Sometimes they are cutting it out with a knife, it's a lot bigger part. Then sometimes it can be so that on one edge it's like 3.3 millimeters, on the other edge it's like 6.2. Then it's really hard to understand what's the average that they are doing on a job site. So if it's not very good, we are usually doing it like from few places on the job site. We take one side, we take maybe only like 3-4 tests. If they are all okay and they are all similar, then we know that this like signature of the guys who are working is pretty much the same. But if you get like from here 6.2 and 1 meter away you get 3.2, which is something that is unfortunately happening quite often, then you have a question that what is the average? How were they working? Then you can ask that what tools did they use and so on. But that's still, I would say, quite rare. Usually you will understand all the specimens are pretty much in the same cap. They are either good and well done, or they are either bad. If they are bad, let's say the average is like 3.9. Thank you. Then we should add some extra base coat render. But the problem is that we should almost always add this extra base coat render with a mesh. Because if we add only the render, then this existing mesh will be too deep inside, not only 1/3 from the outer layer. So that's the reason why like 95% of the times when you have to apply the extra base coat render, you have to do it with mesh. That's the sad part. So it's easier to do it correct with the first try.
I haven't found in this document how many cuttings should you do. For example, at the case of waterproofing,
we haven't said it anywhere. Yeah. Usually I do it as little as possible.
3,
as much
4.
as necessary. From one side, maybe only 3, but then 3 from all 4 sides.
Okay.
Yeah. If I have issues, then I do more. Then I try to determine, was this issue only on this one small area or one side or something. But yeah, that's quite rare usually.
How do you fix the holes then?
Just put mortar.
Just put mortar. It's a very small hole. Yeah. And you don't want to have an extra thick layer here, otherwise you will see it through the when you, like right now we have removed some insulation here, then you need to use the foam first, and then you can apply the render. Minimum layer thickness for the second layer should be if let's say that you didn't have like 2 millimeters instead of 5, usually it's about 3.5 to 4.5, so you should like add only like 1 millimeter, but we never allowed to apply 1 millimeter because the grain size of this render is 1 millimeter, and if you apply only 1 millimeter, this is so-called scratch layer, which is not strong enough for the decorative render. So we say that theoretical minimum is 2 millimeters. But since you are also using the mesh, then it's rather like 2-3 millimeters minimum.